The Ukrainian armed forces have denied reports about the Russian army's capture of another village in eastern Donetsk region. The Russian Defense Ministry announced that it has captured the village of Bogatyr in the southern part of the Donetsk region, and footage of the fighting from the village has been shared. However, fighters from the 33rd Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces have released footage from the village, demonstrating that the area is under their control. Ukrainian fighters said that Russian soldiers entered a part of the village and planted their flag, but were later expelled. As a result of the battle, 14 Russian servicemen were killed. As can be seen from the footage released, Ukrainian soldiers threw the Russian flag to the ground and trampled it. The Ukrainian flag was also shown waving in the village. It should be noted that the Ukrainian army recently denied reports that the Russian armed forces had captured the village of Torsk in Donetsk region, and shared footage from the village.
The new German government said that it will no longer publicly discuss whether it is to deliver Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine. The German-Swedish long-range missiles had been the focal point of controversy among critics who believed that the previous Chancellor Olaf Scholz was not doing enough to support Ukraine against Russia's war of aggression. They included Scholz's successor Friedrich Merz, then Germany's opposition leader. But shortly after entering office, Merz's government decided to return to secrecy on the delivery of specific weapon systems, including Taurus, and went on to downplay their effect. The government was to keep a low profile on Taurus, said a spokesperson for the Defense Ministry, led by Merz's coalition partner, the Social Democrats. He added that the delivery of the cruise missiles had been completely overrated in terms of their effect in the public debate. Germany would continue to support Ukraine with weapons, including long-range weapons, but would not specify which weapon systems would be delivered or at what point, the spokesperson said. Retired NATO official Jamie Shear says that Merz may be more willing to provide Ukraine with Taurus long-range cruise missiles. According to him, Taurus missiles will smash Putin's stagnant offensive. He said that Ukraine can strike deep into Russia with Taurus cruise missiles. Serhiy Sumlenyi, director of the European Resilience Initiative Center, believes that Germany will transfer Taurus missiles to Ukraine in the coming months, while simultaneously training Ukrainian crews. All the weapons stored in the Bundeswehr's warehouses are absolutely worthless, because it's clear that the German government lacks the political will to use them against the aggressor state. And if there were an attack on Germany, with Russian troops already entering German territory, say, near the Oder River, that would mean the occupiers had already passed through Ukraine and Poland. At that point, the weapons would no longer be needed because it's obvious Germany would not be able to stop such an invasion. In my view, the best use for German weapons is to transfer them to Ukraine, which would help preserve Germany's own integrity, if I'm not mistaken. There are currently around 500 to 600 Taurus missiles in German storage, noted Serhiy Sumlenyi. According to him, the issue is that no new Taurus missiles have been produced in recent years due to the lack of government orders for manufacturers. And by law, German arms producers are prohibited from manufacturing weapons without a state order. Even producing weapons for storage is a criminal offense. Claims like, "we need these weapons ourselves," are false. If the Taurus missiles are truly needed, then the government should be placing orders with manufacturers. Accordingly, the older missiles could be transferred to Ukraine, while newly produced ones would remain in Germany. In Crimea, temporarily occupied by the aggressor country Russia, partisans of the Atesh movement recorded the enemy removing military equipment from one of the military units. Agents reported that unusual movements were recorded in Sevastopol, at the permanent deployment point for storing equipment. The territory of the unit is now almost empty, with only a small amount of equipment remaining. On the spot, there are civilian women and elderly people who are cleaning up. Judging by the photographs, there is almost no military equipment. Only a few new Gaz and Kamaz trucks. There are also few soldiers. Our agents noticed them only on the tower and on the hill, the report says. Atesh suggests that this is due to a lack of equipment at the front, and the remaining vehicles were sent to other areas. There were reports of powerful explosions that thundered in the morning of May the 16th in the temporarily occupied Crimea. It was loud in particular in Sevastopol and Perevalnoy. Drones of the Security Service of Ukraine hit ammunition depots of the 126th Coastal Defense Brigade of the Russian Federation in the Crimea. Drones organized a serious bombing of the ammunition depots of the 126th Coastal Defense Brigade of the Russian Federation, which is located near the village of Perevalnoy in Crimea. There were boxes for storing military equipment, weapons and fuel and lubricants there, the service clarified. Videos have appeared online showing a powerful detonation and fires in the enemy warehouses. Local residents also report smoke over the territory of the military unit itself. The situation is so serious that the Russians even blocked traffic on the Simferopol-Alushta highway, which passes by the village of Perevalnoy. There is also information about the death of Russian soldiers who were at the military warehouse. The SBU continues to work effectively on legitimate military targets in the territory of Crimea captured by the Russians. Work on weakening the enemy's military capabilities will continue in the future, an informed source said. Earlier, it became known that Russians were moving property from the 810th Marine Brigade from Sevastopol, which was temporarily occupied by the aggressor country. The empty barracks confirm the security measures taken by the occupiers. It is possible that such preparations are related to the increased risk of the facility in the near future, the statement said. In addition, the Partisans discovered a cluster of military equipment on the territory of the unit, which was carefully hidden under camouflage nets. This also suggests that the occupiers are afraid of being attacked by Ukrainian forces.